All right, so muscles. I think we all agree. A little more strength, never hurt anyone, right? Whether it's finally conquering that pull-up bar or just feeling more energized day to day, who wouldn't want to be able to, like, tap into that amazing power of their muscles?
Absolutely.
So you sent in a really cool YouTube video from Sportology. It's called Muscle Basics, What Athletes Need to Know About the Muscular System. And, before we start picturing ourselves as like weightlifting champions, right, we need to actually understand how muscles work. I mean, like fundamentally, that's our mission, I guess, for this deep dive.
That's a fantastic place to start. I mean, it's easy to get like caught up in the aesthetics, right? The outward appearance of the muscles. But what I think is really captivating is just the sheer range of functions that they perform. The silent, constant work that muscles do to keep us, alive and thriving.
Yeah, the video even mentions how crucial muscles are for things like digestion, which, I never really thought about digestion as a muscular activity before.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's interesting.
It's a great example of, how muscles operate behind the scenes. Smooth muscles, which we can't consciously control, are constantly contracting and relaxing to, like, propel food through your digestive system.
Yeah.
If those muscles weren't working efficiently, you wouldn't be absorbing nutrients properly, no matter how healthy your diet is.
That's a really good point. So, it's not just about like building six-pack abs. It's about like optimizing these essential functions that impact our overall health, which is really cool.
Now, the video breaks down muscles into three types: cardiac, smooth, and skeletal. I'm guessing skeletal muscles are the ones we're kind of like focusing on today.
Exactly. Yeah. Skeletal muscles are the ones that we can, consciously control, the ones that we engage when we exercise. They're responsible for all of our voluntary movements, from walking and running to, lifting weights and playing sports.
And we got a lot of them too, right? Like over 600.
That's right. The human body has a remarkable, like, 640 skeletal muscles, each with its own specific function and purpose. Whoa, okay. That's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah.
So maybe we should break it down a little bit, starting with a familiar muscle like the biceps. The video uses the biceps as an example to kind of illustrate the basic structure of a muscle.
Yeah, it's a perfect example. Think about what happens when you flex your bicep. You can see the tendon attaching the muscle to your shoulder, the tendon connecting it to your forearm, and then, of course, that bulge in the middle, which is the muscle itself.
Okay, so that's kind of like the macro view, but then the video zooms into like the micro level, and it gets kind of mind-boggling. We're talking like billions of individual muscle cells in a single bicep. Like, how do they all fit in there?
Yeah, it's an incredible feat of organization. Those muscle cells, or muscle fibers as they're also called, are arranged in bundles within bundles, all running, lengthwise along the muscle. And this highly structured arrangement provides both strength and flexibility.
And then each individual muscle fiber is packed with these even tinier structures called myofibrils, right? It's like a Russian nesting doll of muscle components.
Precisely. And within those myofibrils, we find these things called sarcomeres, which are the fundamental units of muscle contraction.
Now, remember the video mentioning something about sarcomeres having a specific pattern. Is that important for understanding how they work?
Well, it's visually striking under a microscope.
Yeah.
with these alternating light and dark bands, and these bands represent the arrangement of the two key proteins involved in muscle contraction,
Yeah.
actin and myosin,
Mhm.
and they're arranged in a way that allows them to, like, interact and generate force.
So this is where that sliding filament theory comes in, right? The video explains how these actin and myosin filaments slide past each other to, like, shorten the muscle and produce movement. Can you break that down for us a little bit?
Absolutely. So imagine the myosin filaments have these, like, tiny little arms, right?
Mhm.
And they can reach out and grab onto the actin filaments. So when a signal from your nervous system reaches the muscle, it triggers these myosin arms, right, to pull on the actin filaments, causing them to slide past each other.
So it's like a microscopic tug of war happening inside our muscles, like every time we move.
You could say that, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the coordinated effort of millions, even billions of these tiny interactions that allows us to perform actions as simple as, picking up a pen, or as complex as running a marathon.
And speaking of running marathons, the video talks about different types of skeletal muscle fibers.
Right.
Fast twitch and slow twitch. I'm guessing those determine whether we're built for speed or endurance.
Exactly. Fast twitch fibers are all about like explosive power. They contract quickly and generate a lot of force, but they fatigue quickly as well. Think of like a sprinter bursting off the starting blocks.
Okay, so fast twitch for like short bursts of intense activity. What about slow twitch?
Slow twitch fibers are the endurance specialists. They contract more slowly and generate less force, but they can, keep going for much longer periods. Think of like marathon runners or cyclists who maintain a steady pace for hours on end.
So we've got these two types of muscle fibers, like fast twitch and slow twitch, working together to, power our movements. I'm curious, are we all kind of born with a fixed ratio of those, or can we actually change that through training?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it really gets to the heart of how adaptable our bodies are. While genetics do play a role, in determining that initial muscle fiber composition, training can absolutely influence how those fibers develop.
So even if someone's like naturally, predisposed to be more like slow twitch dominant, they could still train to become more explosive and powerful.
Absolutely. By incorporating exercises that target fast twitch fibers, like sprinting, plyometrics, or lifting heavier weights, you can really stimulate those fibers to adapt and grow. And conversely, endurance training, like long distance running or cycling, can enhance the efficiency and stamina of slow twitch fibers.
That's really encouraging. It means we have, more control over our athletic potential than we might think. Now, speaking of training, the video kind of delves into the concept of muscle growth. I've always wondered, like, what's actually happening at the cellular level when we, you know, lift weights or push our muscles to their limits.
Yeah, it's a fascinating process of breakdown and rebuilding. When you challenge your muscles with, resistance training, you're essentially creating microscopic tears in the muscle fibers.
Wait, so we're actually like damaging our muscles when we work out?
In a controlled way, yes.
Yeah.
But it's this controlled damage, right, that triggers the body's repair mechanisms. So during the recovery phase, your body repairs those microscopic tears. And in doing so, it makes the muscle fibers stronger and thicker in the process.
So it's like breaking down a wall to rebuild it with stronger bricks.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. And this is where the importance of rest and nutrition comes in. The video highlights the crucial role of protein in muscle growth.
Right, I know, like protein's important, but I'm not exactly sure why. Is it just for energy?
Well, protein plays a much more fundamental role. Remember those actin and myosin filaments we talked about, the ones that are, responsible for muscle contraction. Well, they're essentially long chains of protein molecules.
Oh, so we're literally providing the building blocks for those muscle fibers when we consume protein.
Exactly. If you're not consuming enough protein, especially after a workout, you're essentially depriving your body of the raw materials it needs to repair and rebuild those muscle fibers effectively.
That makes perfect sense. So that post-workout protein shake isn't just a fitness fad, it's actually like supplying the essential components for muscle growth. Now, I know the video is geared towards athletes, but I'm starting to see how like understanding these muscle basics can benefit anyone, regardless of their fitness goals. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Whether you're an elite athlete striving for peak performance or someone simply looking to, improve their overall health and well-being, these principles apply. Strong muscles contribute to a healthier metabolism, better posture, increased bone density, and even, a reduced risk of injuries.
Wow, so it really is like a holistic approach to health. It's not just about the aesthetics, it's about optimizing your bodies for life.
And that's something we often overlook, right? We get so caught up in the idea of achieving a certain physique or lifting a certain weight. But I think the true power of understanding our muscles lies in its ability to enhance our overall quality of life.
I love that perspective. It's about building a body that can support us in all aspects of life, whether it's playing with our kids or hiking a mountain trail or simply moving through the world with strength and confidence. Speaking of supporting our bodies, the video mentions the importance of rest and recovery. I'm definitely guilty of pushing myself too hard sometimes. What are the consequences if we neglect that crucial recovery phase?
Well, rest and recovery are just as important as the workout itself. When you consistently push your body without adequate rest, you risk, overtraining. And that can lead to decreased performance, muscle fatigue, increased risk of injury, and even hormonal imbalances.
So it's not just about like giving our muscles a break, it's about allowing our entire system to recharge and rebuild. What are some of the key elements of effective recovery?
Well, getting enough sleep is paramount. That's when your body produces growth hormone, repairs damaged tissues, and replenishes energy stores. Proper nutrition is also crucial, as we discussed earlier, right? Providing those nutrients that your body needs to fuel that repair process. And, of course, actively incorporating rest days into your workout routine.
So it's not about being lazy, it's about being strategic, I guess, with our recovery. Now, you mentioned earlier that muscles contribute to a healthier metabolism. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? I'm always trying to improve my metabolic health.
Sure. Well, muscle tissue is incredibly metabolically active. It plays a key role in regulating blood sugar levels, which is essential for preventing conditions like insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. The more muscle mass you have, the better your body is at utilizing glucose efficiently.
So building muscle can actually help us like manage our blood sugar levels and improve our metabolic health.
Exactly. And it goes beyond blood sugar regulation. Muscles also help increase our resting metabolic rate, which means we burn more calories even at rest.
Whoa, so building muscle is like a win-win for our health. It helps us look good, feel good, and just function better overall.
Precisely.
Mm.
And I think that leads us to a really important question for our listeners. Now that we've explored this fascinating world of muscle basics, from the microscopic workings of muscle fibers to the crucial role of rest and recovery. Now that we've explored this fascinating world of muscle basics, from the microscopic workings of muscle fibers to the crucial role of rest and recovery, what do you think is the biggest takeaway for our listeners today? Like, what's the one thing that they should remember as they kind of continue their own fitness journey?
Hmm. I think the most important thing is that building muscle isn't just about like aesthetics or chasing a certain physique. It's really about empowering your body, to function at its best, both
Hmm.
physically and metabolically. Whether you're aiming to, run a marathon or just improve your overall health or simply navigate, daily life with more strength and ease, understanding how your muscles work is really the key to unlocking your full potential, I think.
I love that. It's about embracing the power of our muscles, not just for how we look, but for how they make us feel and how they support us in living a richer, more fulfilling life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the beauty of it is, the more you learn about your muscles, the more you really appreciate the incredible complexity and resilience of the human body.
It's like we've been given this amazing gift, this intricate machine that can adapt, grow, and become stronger with the right knowledge and care. It's really something.
And that's something worth celebrating. Every time you move, every time you challenge your body, you're engaging this incredible system, this symphony of muscle fibers working in harmony to power your every action. It's amazing.
It truly is. It's awe-inspiring,
Right.
when you think about it. And now armed with a deeper understanding of how it all works, I think we can approach our fitness journeys with more intention, more purpose, and just more appreciation for the incredible power we possess within us.
Well said. And remember, this deep dive is just the beginning. There's always more to learn, more to explore, and more ways to unlock the potential of your amazing muscular system. So keep learning, keep exploring, and keep pushing yourself to new heights.